Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bob Randall and Company, which today will be Scott Seriton joining us. Uh, just to let everyone know, I'm back in Texas, and I'm getting a little bit of echo here for some reason. But anyway, I'm back in Texas. We're about 45 minutes from the house. I'm going to kind of turn it over to Randy at this point, and him and Scott are going to come on in and let's talk about, gosh, how tired we are.
Hey, Bob, Scott, how are you guys? Again, welcome. Like Bob said, it's July 24th, episode 25, season 2. Welcome everybody to Bob Randall and Company. Of course, company. I don't know where Scott went. He's there somewhere, but we want to welcome everybody. Can't believe we're driving from Branson to Oliver after being there for 2 weeks. I mean, come on, guys. They're probably driving like this with two toothpicks to try to see the road. They've got to, because they're up late and stayed up late and got up early for everything going on between all the entertainment and schooling and fellowship and friendship and memory. It's endless. That happened the last 2 weeks. Like I said, I'll say this. It's a bad word, I'll say, but it sucks that I wasn't there. Sorry, guys. I'm really kind of upset about that, but we'll talk about that at another time.
And Randy, we had planned on doing a lot more pop in uh, updates across the 2 weeks, and we were just, I don't know, this year it just seemed like we had so many more duties, so much more to do. The school came first because that's what we were there for, and we tried our best to get as many reports in as we could. But it was a long, well, 15 days for us, so it was a long time, and we are definitely ready to be home. We're, like I said, we're about 45 minutes away, so we're not too far. We stopped at Bucky's, topped off the tank, got us one of these giant Bucky drinks. That's right, Bucky's.
That's
and
a fantastic logo. I love it.
yeah, they're really cool. Oh, and Mrs. Claus Carol got watermelon.
Oh man, Bucky's even on the watermelon now.
They have everything, man.
It's got to be a southern thing only. It's got to be a southern thing because we don't have them up here in Michigan, or I don't. So we don't have them up here. So
well, they're headed that way. They finally broke out of Texas. Based in South Texas in the San Antonio area, made their way to North Texas, and now they're in Tennessee and across the South. They're putting them in Mississippi. So it won't be too much longer. They'll be up your way because I'm sure they're going to go nationwide.
They should get to Ohio since it's Bucky's or a Buckeye state. To me, it would make sense in Ohio, but that's just me. I don't.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
Michigan
so.
Guys. I shouldn't have said that word. Sorry, Michigan guys. Rivalry between
Speaking of Michigan, guys, there was a lot of folks from Michigan, well represented at both of the schools. We had 108 total students the first week, had 87 this week. So quite a turnout. Now, here's the thing, and we want to mention this right off the bat. Spangle has already got, and he's only going to have 1 week coming up this next year, 2024, 1 week only. Jeff McMullen, as we had announced, is keynote speaker. 75 people from the two schools have already signed up.
Wow! So it's 75% full already for next year.
2/3 sold out already.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I mean, it will be like another event going on. I mean, you guys had an event the last 2 weeks, but it will be another incredible time.
Michael got with the hotel yesterday, and they looked at the layout that we had and have figured out a way to probably get around 120 in that classroom without breaking any, fire marshal codes or anything like that. So possibly, can still get about another total of 45 total, in there. So about 45 tickets is all that's left.
So it'll still be 2 weeks next year, but Jeff will only be there for 1 week. 1 week only.
Just 1 week.
1
week only. No more 2 weeks. Thank God.
Yeah, the way you guys are doing, poor Scott's head's bopping. It scares me, Scott. Your head's bopping around there. It scares me, and your passenger is not really capable of driving either. See that your passenger is not really capable of driving either. Oh, boy. You guys did an incredible job. Seriously, I mean,
Well, how's your weather up there?
It's a lot cooler than you guys are down there. We were in 66 last night. It was beautiful weather sleeping, and is beautiful 80 some degrees today. You guys are still in the hundreds down there, aren't you?
Right here where I'm sitting in the shade, our minivan says
It was in
99
the 80s
outside.
probably last night when we loaded out.
Well, it was 68 when we left there at 7 this morning, Scott. And like I say, it's 99 here in the shade in North Texas. So,
Yikes! It's been a crazy heat wave. I mean,
I'm just coming through Miami now on 44. I'm just coming through Miami, Oklahoma. I'm back in Oklahoma and out of Missouri, or out of misery, I guess we should look at it that way now.
Wow.
But, no, that we had 2 great weeks, but I can't complain any other than that. There was I would have liked to have the 3 days between the sleep, but and we're grateful to Spangle for making things for us to do and taking us to different events around Brandon there and hosting us for that. So
thankful for sprinkles, huh?
Wow. Yeah, you guys kept busy the whole time. You didn't even get that break in between.
No, really didn't. And Angela and her family joined us this last week, and so we were on the go between trying to do school duties, take an hour or two to go do something different, and come back and work, more at the school. But we had a fantastic time. Like I said, though, we are ready to be home.
Wow, what an event! In next week we're going to hear so much more about it from start to finish. So, you guys, we're going to talk about that a little later anyway. But we're going to be next week on the 25th. No, next week. Yes. No, tomorrow night. What am I saying? Tomorrow night. Next week.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is a big recap show again.
What am I thinking? Tomorrow night's the big night.
Gonna grab Santa Mel. Gonna grab Randy. Scott, Rex. Gonna bring the whole crew in and talk more about Branson 2023. But programming note that we want to mention at this point, though, is that there will not be a Monday show next week. The Bob Randall and Company live preview show is taking a week off. That's right. We're going to take 1 week off. We'll be back the following Monday. My son, who has been engaged for 10 years, and I guess you'd call it common law in Texas, but they're going to go ahead and tie the knot. So his wedding is next Monday, and the whole family's going. So we won't have a producer, and I won't be there. And so we're just going to take the week off and give it a rest and come back rested and ready to go the next week.
That's all right. It's congratulations. That'll be good to get that thing on the finger there. Congratulations to hope that many years.
I'll be in Houston, Texas next Monday.
That's right, and Scott will be out of pocket. So
busy week coming up. I can't believe, and that's going to be the end of the month. What is it? 31st of July already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? I know.
End of July already.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right. Hey, at this time, let's go ahead and jump on into those something burger hot topic. And we got 3 questions today for you. 3. That's why we got 3 of us here.
We got a beautiful list of people started out. We're getting some great answers.
Fantastic. Roll it, Angela.
Well, hello there, everybody. Hello back to Something Burger. Of course, I want to say hi to everybody. AJ, how you doing? Miles, everybody's here. We got Ray's here. Rex is here. Eric and Alicia, Daniel. I'm just kind of looking at my phone here because it doesn't come up on my screen. Gary, man, we got a good set of time. We got a great list of people starting on a Monday. Of course, this is the segment where we get you folks involved to kind of, do a round robin in a way, and just let us know what your thoughts are. Again, so I have a few questions, and Bob's going to have one, and of course, Scott's got a great one too. How do you explain? This is my question. How do you explain what the North Pole looks like to the children? How many elves do you have? And how many reindeer do you have? How many elves do you have? How many reindeer do you have? And how do you explain how the North Pole looks? I tell them, we have way over 100. We have way over 100 reindeer at the North Pole because we use this Renman, but there's still them in training. So there's over 100 reindeer, but there's over 2,627 elves. That's right, 2007. It's a weird number, but I tell them some weird number. I try to remember it this time of year. I don't remember it so much, and then to me the way that looks, it just looks, it's magical. It's we have a place for everything, each store. So Bob, go ahead. You got let us know how you try to explain the North Pole.
Well, I take the easy way out, Randy. I ask them if they've seen the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen, and I tell them, that was filmed at the North Pole. That is the North Pole that you see in that movie. And so I was so busy as Santa, I didn't have time, and that's how Tim Allen got the role. Portraying myself, and as far as the reindeer go, I just tell them that I've got snowfields and snowfields with reindeer, that they're just hundreds and hundreds of them. But I only have a couple of dozen that are the special ones. And of course, the most famous ones are the 10 that we talk about, including Olive. So that's my answer. It's simple. And again, something that we even talked about at the school this weekend was when you talk about your backstory, keep it as real to your real life as you can. That way you don't get it mixed up. Just incorporate your real life into your backstory as Santa, and it seems to work out pretty well.
Definitely. Perfect. Scott, how do you explain the North Pole to everybody?
Well, I use the Christmas Chronicles too, and that is my vision that I try to use for the vision of the North Pole. But when it comes to reindeer, I say, well, I have so many, I can't remember how many there are now because, just like mom and dad have babies, so do my reindeer. And I also have reindeer that come and try out to be in the place on the sleigh from all over the world, because you'll see those sometimes out at different places that some of my trainers bring them out and put them on exhibit. So, those are all my reindeer, but I have to have them in training all over the world because there's different climates that they need to be prepared to travel through. And on elves at about 12,000, I quit counting.
See, that's a great answer. I like that. I quit counting. That's a cool way of putting it. Then you don't have to get an exact number. Like for the next people come up, 12,000. I quit counting. There's so many. Mrs. Claus would know, but that's a great answer. Man, see, that's what's cool. We all have a unique backstory about this, and so that's. Let me see if we got something.
For me, as well as the elves go, Randy, I always say that because there's so many more new good girls and boys in the world that I'm all the time having to add on to the production line, the warehouse, the commissary, Mrs. Claus's kitchen, the dormitory, and that I don't know how many elves I got because I'm constantly bringing in more and more and more due to the fact that there's so many good girls and boys in the world.
And that's another perfect way to get around not remembering that exact number like I try to do, and sometimes you can get caught up in it. That's a great answer. See, we got a couple of things here, but Bart, elves. Wait a minute, we got a couple above here. Sorry about that. Ray, we will talk about the last sleigh ride here in a little bit. Okay, I promise we will bring that up. We apologize. That's sad. We got another one of those happening. Number 7 is the head elf of logistics. Bart, I have reindeer station, reindeer farm all over the world, constantly training. Stand the first team, usual stuff. Yeah, like he said, he has reindeer all like Bob says. You have them all over the time. Scott says exactly. You're adding more babies, and some are training, some are just extra ones. I used to have 1,972 workshop elves and about 13 million scout elves. Wow. Scout elves, we don't know. They're everywhere. So there's about as many children. That would be a good one. He says about 13 million scout elves. But real bad COVID exposure, we are down to 2 elves. Ouch. Oh, that's not a good thing, Ben. You guys got a rough outbreak there lately in Ohio, huh? We will get to, like I said, we will get to that, Ray. I promise. We will get to the last sleigh ride on Santa Mark. That's sad that we do that. Elves 2. I have a station quality control representative, a toy factory. Released our patent license of toys. So you're actually dividing out each little kind of explaining the way North Pole looks. Perfect, Bart. Uh, uh, Carl White goes like Randy. I come up with a large number and explain to them changes frequently. Um, in order to explain why the different numbers that might have you have heard. Wait a minute. They might have heard from me. So yeah, like so if you come up with 276,312, then you say 276,911. Well, they just multiply sometimes. Whatever your that's a lot. Though. That's a big number. I divert. Carl also says I divert by saying I just had a new baby reindeer in the barn. Today is given a name. Hasn't given a name yet. See, that would be a cute one. Then you can talk to the children about, oh, we had a new baby reindeer. What would you name the baby reindeer? Then it gets to talking to the children, and it's also that diversion about if you don't want to talk about those things anymore. Then the children will talk about coming up with a name. Cool idea, Carl. Cool idea. That we shall see for Angela's. Will she be back there next year? Ted Flynn said, I'd like to start off with the last census we had, and then the name, the number, save it to know the constant changes of like cities. Sorry, Ted. I apologize. I'd like to start it off with the last census we had, and then the name, the number, and save it to you so you to know that constantly changes just like cities can change in population. Oh, okay. I guess what I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't running through my head right. Basically, Scott Ted wants to see it fluctuates exactly like Bob and Scott says. It fluctuates all the time with new babies. I want to meet you badly, AJ. AJ said I'm sure you'll meet Angela. Ted says about scout elves on the shelf. We have a lot of those. That's a good answer. We have a lot of those. There's a lot. Like Ben said, over 13 million of those. So that's great. Great. Yeah, it's what we've been kind of talking about, getting your backstory going, and that's part of it because the children will ask. Of course, they always ask what's my my elf's name. Of course, we don't know what their name is because they named them. That's what I use. But just kind of wondering what your story is. But I love the one where I lost count. I think I'm going to switch mine to that. I like that because I don't have to worry about the cool. And it's just such a beautiful place. You can talk about the aurora borealis if you want to talk about the North Pole. So cool guys. As always, you guys are just phenomenal. We're going to go to question number 2. This is Bob's question. Bob doesn't have a sheet, so I'm going to have to read it here. He's driving. We don't want him to read and drive at the same time. This is Bob's question for today for Something Burger. How many of you have had the big toe shoes from Spears, specialty boots, or Santa boots, model number 39 from Clown Mart? So those cool little knob Spears clown boots. Do you have them in brown or black? Just kind of shiny or dull? What do you guys prefer? And do you got a zipper up the side, or are they laced up? They got them so many cool different ways. Can you let us know what you think about them? Do you like the Spear clown boots? Like I said, they've got so many variety of ways. So we're curious about what you guys have for the Spear big toe boots. Zipper side, lace, dull, shiny.
Yeah, the Spears was kind of the one that laid the groundwork for the big toe boots, and then Clown Mart came along and started doing them, and they done them in lace up and shiny, and so there's some variations out there. Now, I was just wondering how many guys had them. I know Scott and I both have a pair of Spears black zip up and with buckles on them. We got the custom buckles on ours.
I also have a pair of Spears Workshop book shoes. Just a lace up pair of shoes that's got that buckle on them.
Yeah.
Are
those are ones I refer to as pilgrim shoes. They look like something the pilgrims would have wore.
Right.
But those aren't the knob one. Those are they, Scott? They're the knob clown toe.
No, my workshop are not non-clown
knob.
toes.
Okay, but they are the lace
They're
up, look more like Bob said, more of a pilgrim look. Yeah.
They're a slip on, aren't they, Scott?
Yeah. But you know, I wear those with Argyle socks and knickers. You know, for golf tournaments, I wear them. You know, for casual Santa if I'm doing something. You know, usually if I'm doing something with my overalls, I'll still wear my tall clown toe boots, Spears.
Yeah, just like Ted.
But
I was asking
when
how
I
many of you guys
started
actually
out
have
with just the motorcycle boots.
what kind? I apologize, Scott. I was talking there for a minute. What kind of boots?
Oh, no, it's all right. When I first started, I wore the spats and just a regular motorcycle boot until
Right.
Actually Spangle said, "Hey, you need some of these Spears boots." He got us both at the same time, didn't he, Bob?
He did about what I don't know, a half dozen years ago or so, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He hit us both up.
Yeah, we've
Because
got
Spangler's a representative for
sad to say,
Spears.
Spears no longer. There are no more Spears boots. He's no longer making them. Well, he closed
Right.
in January, didn't he, Bob?
I think he did. Last I heard, he was closing down then, but I haven't heard anybody say for sure that he quit doing them.
We've got a couple of definitely answers here about a few people said they don't really personally they don't wear them. Ben says I don't like the big toe Santas. They're not for me.
Yep.
I'm sitting right now. The former foot Bart says I'm sitting right now in a former Foot Port headquarters that built shoes for all the Ronald McDonald clowns as well as the Ringling Brothers. Yeah, I mean that's where they kind of started. But I think with some suits, with some Santa suits, they look perfect. They have it kind of like adds to the attire. They really do. They really add to the attire. The boots.
For me, they look best with a waist coat, a longer coat instead of the shorter coat, and or the parade ankle coat. That's when they look the best, I think. And I only wear mine a couple of times a season. Most of the time, I wear my regular toe ones, but
yeah, I think it does, especially with the coat, because you are
they're
almost in a way larger than life when you wear
right.
the parade coat and everything else. So the boots do add to that whole look because it is larger than, and I'm not saying cartoony, but it is. It takes you a step over the top even. So do you guys? I don't even know because I don't have a pair of those.
They're part of my backstory.
Do they come with fur or like the flap? What is it? The leather flap, or how are they topped?
They got the leather cuff on them.
The leather cuff, okay.
But when I had mine, of course, you can get them custom. And when I had John do mine, I had him make the shank taller so that they come up to the bottom of my kneecaps.
Ah, good.
And then I had him shorten the leather cuff to a 6-inch so that my Adele fur toppers would go over the top of them and that cuff wouldn't hang out from underneath. That way I can wear them with or without the fur.
Now, do they customize your size? Because I know some people have bigger calves and everything else. And
they do. They take a dozen different measurements, Scott?
They do. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them. Instep from the heel to the over your instep. You draw a picture around your toes. They take the top of your calf,
your whole foot. They take a outline of your whole foot.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, including myself, one foot's bigger than the other.
It's like most people are. You're right. Most people are that way, especially if you're having them on that much. And sometimes we do have to walk quite a bit or climb in and out of stuff like floats. It would be good to have a boot that fit is custom fit instead of something off the shelf.
And if you're driving a larger vehicle with those on, you have room. But if you're in a smaller vehicle, the pedals are so close together that you can't drive in them.
You can probably have your left foot on, but not your right boot on, huh? Is that it? You can't use you have to put a...
Yeah.
I take my right boot off when I go to a gig.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I do in my clowning. I wear the larger shoes, not huge clown shoes, but I keep my left one on and I don't do my right one so I can drive, and I just put the right shoe on when I do a performance that way. That's That makes sense because not a whole lot of room
Exactly.
to move it in between. So we
Now,
have some
before we
other.
move on to
Well,
Scott's question,
I
I just
got one
want
more thing to add. I use those big-toed boots part of my backstory because kids will say, "Why are your boots so big?" And I tell them, "Well, I used to go from the house to the workshop, and I was always sinking in the snow. So the elves had come up with this design of a boot. They're like a snowshoe, and I don't sink in the snow anymore when I go to the workshop from the house. That's
I
part
use
of my
that same
backstory."
I use the same story when it comes to explaining to the children why.
Very cool.
So,
See,
all right.
there's a backstory for everything, guys. It doesn't matter if it's
Yep.
glasses, if it's shoes. There's a backstory for everything, which is wonderful.
Before we
Well,
move on, Scott, I just want to let everyone know that my phone is locked into my steering wheel and I'm fixing to take off driving. So, no, we're not going to be turning over. It's just the steering wheel spinning. So, as soon as I get on the highway, of course, it'll be back up straight, but I'm going to have to make a few turns between here and the highway. So, don't
so
be
you're gonna make
concerned. We're
everybody
okay.
drunk
So the
without
vehicle's not
drinking.
rolling over, everybody. Like I saw earlier, he was like doing like this. I said, "Bob, are you rolling over? Are you? Are
Well,
you?" There
I
you
will
go.
share this. I'm getting
Here
ready
we
to go
go.
under the largest McDonald's in the world.
Wow. There you
And
go.
actually, I drive, the interstate goes underneath the middle of it.
Wow, that's very neat. Very neat.
So,
Great, guys. Great. Added on to Bob's question. Now we got the question from Scott, number
okay,
3 for Something Burger. Scott, what's your question?
this is my question. I would like to know how many of our listeners have actually, that have been Santas for a while or even new Santas, and how many of you have actually gone to a professional Santa school? And is the first part. And the second part is if you've not gone, why not?
Great question.
Great question, guys. Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think Santa schools are a necessity. There's so many to go to. There's so many varieties. A lot of them come to you, or at least fairly close. And for the price of some of these, it's you just save up your little holiday time. So I definitely have been to, not enough, of course. The more the merrier. Of course, we always will learn something. That's why we're learning something today. I never thought about saying 12,000 plus. I lost count. I mean, you learn something every day, so you'll learn something at a school. So yes, I've been, and I plan on
And
go to
another
more.
thing, if you've not been to one, after your season this year, if you don't catch one this year, if you've got the opportunity, you need to come in the first weekend in February to San Antonio to the North Pole Cornerstones. Their school is going to be an amazing production. It's all going to be interactive. I mean, you're going to get some experience, and you're going to be able to we're going to film you actually probably in some parts of it, and give you the opportunity to watch yourself perform, and your fellow students and your co-students there are going to critique your performance. Is one of the things that's going to happen there. So I'm looking real forward to that, because I want to hear. I'm probably my own worst critic. So what I get from the schools is I get ideas and ways to improve my performance. So that's and this North Pole Cornerstone School in February in San Antonio, Texas, is actually going to give you a lot of hands-on experience, and also for Mrs. Claus, because it's everything's going to the Clauses. Mrs. Claus is a vital part of your portrayal. If you don't
Oh, we're losing you, Scott.
have one, and in San Antonio, we're going to help you try to give you information where you can find.
Actually, we're kind of losing you there,
Am I
Scott.
done?
I don't know if everybody's hearing you or not. So, but you guys, there'll be so many things on the internet, on Facebook, showing about NP or North Pole Cornerstones coming up in February. So don't miss it. I mean, it will be an event. It's a 3-day event coming up. And again, it's another one. 2 schools Santa Ana University and Sat Bob's are blending together, coming with some very unique, very, very new, cool concepts about how to teach. So that's one meet, and I see we've got quite a few. Of course, AJ said it was his first one this year. That's good. Ron McLam said he's been to two. Whoops, sorry, two, not three, two. I've been to two of them. Not yet was actually I saw who that was. Said not yet, but hopefully you will be attending a school coming up. Who was that? Not yet. I'm not sure who that was. Got a Facebook user there. Carl White says he's been to several and would recommend that Santas do the same thing and keep on training every year. That's what it is, and we have to keep on because things change all the time. Ray Bradbury said he's been to two of them. Just finished Tim's class. Again, classic from the get go. You know, Hall of Fame Santa, great. Jerry, perfect, exactly. What he says, always learning, always learning. That's a great line. Ted, here we go. I don't know if Ted's getting the record here. Ted's been in Santa for 25 years, been to 18 schools. 18 schools. That's a lot, Ted. Man, that's incredible. 18 schools. That's a past master class. You know, that's incredible. Facebook user was maybe we don't know who that one was. Let's see what I've gone to school of Santa and stuff for Santa at school. Okay, wish I knew who that was. Sorry.
Well,
there we go. Jessica said she's been to 11. She's been to 11 schools, but she's never gone to a school yet. She's only been a vendor 11 times. Jessica Roses. So, only been to the reunion once, which sometimes reunions are the same thing as going to school because there are classes at the reunions and all that. Next is Bart. Bart says he's a second generation Santa since 1990. Attended Santa America in person and 3 at Taylor schools, the Platinum and all that kind of stuff. Jeff McBride, excuse me, not McBride. Sorry, McMullen. There's Jeff McBride. He's a magician, though. Jeff McMullen at Kringle University said he went there. Bart did. Somebody says, I wish to attend Tennessee. So we'll see. That's Ken Boomer said that. So we got a lot of people that have been to a lot of schools and plan on attending more. I think it's next year is action-packed with schools coming up. Action. Yeah. I mean, just boom, 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 boom.
Well, and I can say, Randy, that Norfolk Cornerstones launched 3 weeks ago today, and we've got 36 signed up already and 6 vendor requests.
Wow. Yeah, and that's a huge start. I mean, because it's those 2 schools that are already great schools to begin with are blending together. Besides coming with so many things unique, like Scott was explaining about. And a lot of times that we don't get to see what we do. And it's great to be able to watch and be critiqued. And that's the way you learn. You can go there and sit in class and learn, but it's also good to be able to watch, and then go back. That was always a big deal when we got into virtual many years ago. We used to videotape our virtual shows, so we get the virtual show down. So yeah. That's what they're going to be doing, which is a phenomenal thing. Don't forget that's
And too, Randy, we're even though it's Santa Nana and Sat Bob's, we're still going to touch on a little bit of what both these schools have done in the past. But this is really going to be a new, innovative, interactive. It's going to be so much more than either the 2 schools have done in the past. We've had a council of 6, and we have just been brainstorming like crazy, and we've listened to what folks have said in these schools, what they want to see more of, or what they want to see that they haven't seen, and so we're taking all that to heart.
Wow, see, that's listen to your people, like most stores should do. Listen to your clients, listen to your customers, and Santa's and Mrs. Claus's are the customers, so customize that class for that, and that's coming in February. So take some of that, like Scott said, take some of that Christmas money, put a little bit aside. It's down in San Antonio, so it'll be nice, much better weather than especially here in the northern half of the country. So put some money aside for that. So, but again, there's so many other
All right,
classes
guys, y'all
coming up.
ready to move along to the SantaClausNet.org trivia question?
It's Santa Claus question time, and here's the commercial.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing.
Angela, Santa's
Bob,
Closet.
Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is that time for Santa Clausnet's question of the day. Are we ready, everyone? Again, don't forget, if you're in timeout for 30 days, don't bother typing, okay? So here we go. Here's the question. In the Christmas song, Jingle Bells, what is the name of the horse pulling the sleigh? In the song Jingle Bells, what is the name of the horse pulling the sleigh? It's kind of a trick question, but I think if you sing the song, you might know. It's kind of a very unique thing to think about. Nobody ever thought the name of a horse. It's not a horse of a different color like it did in Wizard of Oz. It's not the horse of a different color, but think of that. Does anybody remember the Wizard of Oz, the horse of a different color? I love that when that horses change colors, the red, the yellow. That was always great in Oz. That was probably one of my favorite parts too. Well, that's good. We got that coming up, but we also want to take a few moments to go back. I promised Ray, and we have another sad thing to say. Where is that? I got to go all the way back, Ray. I apologize. How far back we go? There we go. Ray Bradbury, Bradshaw, excuse me, left a thing saying we had another last sleigh ride coming up. Santa Mark Connor Davis. Mark passed away last night. Another Santa, and it's sad. Please keep his family and his friends in your prayers for another Santa making his last sleigh ride. So please keep his family and friends in your thoughts and prayers. We love this business. We love the people in it because Santa's brings so much joy and cheer to everybody. Same as Mrs. Claus's. It's sad to see another one be taken up for the last sleigh ride to heaven. So please keep their thoughts and prayers with the family and friends. Okay? Thank you, guys. So sorry. There will probably be some information, details will be provided soon, is what Ray said. So there'll be more details, but again, didn't want to put a downer on that, but we have to pay our respects, and it's something that we can't stop. We know we're all getting a little older in life, and things happen, and man, it doesn't make it any easier. So because we know what Santa means to the world, we know what Santa and Mrs. Claus mean to the world and the children. When there's one less one helping smiles out there, it's a sad thing. So please, again, keep their family and everybody in your hearts and thoughts and prayers. Okay, guys, let's move on to well, we got that. Hopefully we got some answers coming in. We won't say who got it right yet, but we will give you the answer a little later. So it is Chatterbox news time there, Bob. Dun, 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 dun. We got the right off, hot off the press. Of course, we've been talking about, of course, dun, 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 Cornerstone, North Pole Cornerstone. Of course, that's coming up in February.
B&B.
Oh, sorry, did need to say something? I apologize. No? Okay. Don't forget North Pole Cornerstone schooling, like we talked about a little bit ago, is going to be in February of next year. Save that holiday money for that. It's going to be, like I said, a blend of the two things. And of course, both schools will still be doing their independent schooling too. Sat Bobs will still be traveling around with a bunch of fantastic instructors. Same with Santa Ana University, but this is a blend between Lucky and of course Gordon that founded the two schools and the board guys to put them together to put the unique, very special school coming in February. But you'll see more information on Facebook and of course posts here going on. But I want to jump into something that happens less than 2 weeks away. Less than 2 weeks away up here in Saginaw, Michigan. The Red Suit Conclave is going to be here on the first weekend in August, the 5th and 6th of August up in Saginaw, Michigan. We have 11 classes. 11 classes. We're going to have approximately 8 dealers and vendors there. A 2-day event. And it's my favorite F word, everybody. It's free, everybody. Just like the shows are here. They're free. All education, all learning are free. Of course, you still got to pay for your travel and hotel and food, but it's put together by MAPS, Michigan Association of Professional Santas. So that's the first weekend in August. We're still accepting people to come. You don't have to be a MAPS member to come, but you do have to register to let us know you'll be there. So we are still taking it, and I've been posting pretty much every week to let you know how to click the link to join. So that's coming up real soon, the Red Suit Conclave. And of course, we talked about North Pole Cornerstone. That's coming in February. Then in March, March, everybody, is the Master Claus Academy. That's going to be Lee Andrews and Jeff McMullen. Can you believe that those two guys, one right after another in Columbus, Ohio, is going to be those two things going to be a Master Santa class. And to let you know, that's going to be incredible. And to let you guys know that me, Randy, Bob, Randyl, and company will also be doing a scholarship. So we'll be putting out probably the next 2 weeks, let you know how you can win that scholarship. It's going to pay for the class. You'll have to pay for your hotel and things like that. But here at Bob, Randyl, and company, we're going to be giving a scholarship for that from me, Checker Magic, and of course, Bob and Randyl. So look for that. But that's going to be an incredible class in March. Let me get the dates. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Let me get to the right dates. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. There we go. 23rd and 24th of March. I know that's already got quite a few people already booked on that too. So don't miss that. And of course, we were talking earlier, they just had the last 2 weeks of School for Santas. Now, we don't have the dates, I don't think, for next. Oh, do we have the dates for next year yet? Maybe not. We do have the dates for School for Santa next year. But of course, we have the guest speaker, Jeff McMullen. It's going to be only a 1-week event this year at School of Santa this year. And I'm sure Scott and Bob are sure happy for that. They're not going to spend 2 weeks doing the class, but it'll be another fantastic week at School of Santa. Of course, special guest speaker like this year was Ed Taylor for the 2 weeks. Next year will be
Third week in July.
Third week. Thank you, Scott, very, very much. Third week of July.
July 17th.
July.
4 days.
Man, 4 days again. Everything is all inclusive. You got your breakfast, you got your lunch, you've got your entertainment, you've got your education. It is a phenomenal event. Like I said, we're going to hear more about the last 2 weeks tomorrow night, the 25th, 5 months before Christmas. Oh my goodness, 5 months before Christmas is tomorrow. We'll hear all about Branson the last 2 weeks. It was just it's going to be great to hear about. So that's going to be. But those are the classes coming up, and of course, Jeff has got a Kringle University's one-day event coming up, and man, I tell you, but they asked earlier about going to schools. Don't miss a school. Um, Everyone now is just they've divided up so much between Santa and Mrs. Claus. Um, there's so much education for both. There really is. So don't think it's just Santa's anymore. It's not. It's for everybody. And the Mrs. Clauses, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. They do such a phenomenal job. I mean, they have added such a huge an addition to all this, and a new thought process for Santas, not just for Mrs. Clauses. That we're not used to thinking about. We're in our own little world as Santa, but they've got like what they're called fresh eyes, and that's what's so cool, and that's what the new Santa's got. That's why the new Santas need to be there. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got a guy throwing his brakes on in front of me for no reason.
It wasn't me this time.
No, I didn't say anything bad. I just wondered why he was
It
stopping.
wasn't that extra word, Cal. It wasn't that extra word, Cal.
No. I'm trying
Oh
to
my
be good.
goodness!
We won't tell them what that
I'm
word
just
was
slinging-
last week. We won't say
No.
it next week.
No, I'm just slinging my hands up in the air.
Traffic is bad. That's all I gotta say.
It was funny though. It was cute. You got to admit it was cute. You had to smile, but you had to. But guys, don't. I mean, put some money away, like we we're talking about going to schools. Put some money away to go to a school. It's you're going to learn something. The coolest thing is the fellowship, the fun, the camaraderie. Is just priceless to go to these things. Like I said, I can't wait to go up in 2 weeks. We actually will be there on Friday to go Friday night for kind of a meet and greet early Friday for the red suit. So I can't wait to get started on that. And then you think about it.
And the thing about it, Randy, is there is learning opportunities all across the country. It doesn't matter what region of the United States you live in, there are opportunities out there.
See, that's exactly what Bob said. It's not just in Texas. It's not just in Missouri. It's all across the United States. You can drive a few hours to get to someplace. We got them Ohio, Michigan, Texas, Branson. There's California. They're all across Colorado. They're all over the schools, all over the place. So we all know it's going to take a little bit of money. You've got to drive there, and gas isn't cheap anymore. Well, nothing's cheap anymore. It's but it's just but it's worth every penny to increase our knowledge and our craft for the children and our families. I mean, it is worth every penny. It really is. So that's good. We got Gary said.
Where do you fly into to go to your Michigan conclave?
Probably the best thing to do is probably to go to Flint Bishop Airport. Is probably the closest airport to go to, which is about a half hour south. Yeah, that's about a half hour south. The Flint Bishop Airport is. You can go to Detroit Metro Airport then, but then you've got over a 2-hour drive to get up to Saginaw. We have a banquet on Saturday night, so it's going to be a great time. You have a fashion show, everything.
Well, do you?
Oh, Bob, I don't hear you. You're on mute, Bob.
You provide free airport limo service.
If you're gonna fly up, Scott, I will pick you up. It'll be free. I will pick you up at the airport, man, in a heartbeat.
I like
in a heartbeat, man. If you could fly up, I'd be there. Boom, man. Without a doubt, it'd be great to see you. Really, if anybody could show up, I mean, we just love.
That'll cover my next 2 weekends.
Boy, you don't want to be home at all anymore, do you? What's the deal? You don't want to be home at all, huh? A traveling man.
Well, I mean, my season's coming soon. I got to get all I can, right?
That's the thing. Our season's coming so soon. Like we said, 5 months from tomorrow, Christmas is over. 5 months from today's Christmas Eve, it's over. We start. That's 150 some days. It's over 153 days. It's over. So that means most Santas start the end of October, first week in November. So we're talking 110 days before we get started. I mean, we're almost in these double digits to get started. So, I mean, I start bleaching in a month. I have to get 3 times to get a bleaching going. It just, and I know a lot of Santa's got to bleach. We got to do that. You've got to get started. So don't miss out on any of that stuff. So great job, guys. And of course, now we got what else to make sure I don't miss anybody here on who we're talking about here on the Elfin Chatterbox News. Cool. I got it. So now we're going to go to the other coolest thing, like Bob's got on his hat, the free Tuesday nights, everybody. Free Tuesday night live. There you go. Tuesday night live, guys. And again, I'm all right, Angela. Woo, Angela. Yes. Look at that. It's free Tuesday night, guys. I mean, it is just phenomenal what everybody, again, I've been saying this so much, but it's the truth, and it's how I feel. They put so much into those Tuesday nights, so much work, so much time, so we all can benefit. And it's free. You can watch it tomorrow. You can watch it Wednesday morning. You can watch it the night that it's on TV. I love sitting back. I put my feet up in my recliner. I got it on that big screen TV, and man, it's a great way to spend a Tuesday night. But tomorrow night is really, really unique. Tomorrow night, the 25th, is all about Branson. The last 2 weeks about what happened in Branson. So many things about the parade, about the shows, about the camaraderie, about everything that happened, about the classes. So that'll be all tomorrow night. That's going to be hard to put into an hour and a half or so of talking. I don't know how you're gonna keep it down to an hour and a half to 2 hours, but it's the way it is. But I think Bob and Scott and them, they got to get a little sleep first. But there's going to be some great guests adding on tomorrow night to let you a little bit more know about it. But don't miss tomorrow night, the 25th. It's all about Branson. And then, boom, a week after that is already August 1st. Now, remember again, 31st, Bob, Randyl, and company, we're taking that day off because of a marriage in Bob's family, which is congratulations. Wish them many, 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 many years of happiness. So that won't be on the 31st, but the first of August is Sean White. I tell you, Sean, she does a vintage Mrs. Claus. She has a huge, phenomenal online thing, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, she just knows how to. And you got to ask her how she got that billboard on Interstate I-94. Man, she's got I don't know how big her picture is on I-94. It's got to be like 8x8 picture of her face on I-94. So you've got to talk about this. It's not Mrs. Claus, but it still is Sean. So she does a lot of acting too. So she's got a great perspective of Mrs. Claus and everything else. My hat's off to everything she does. And don't miss Sean on August 1st. On August 8th, one of the beginners of Tuesday Night Live, Ron McLam, will be here. He was there from the very beginning, helping do a lot of the technical stuff. Has been a professional Santa for years, but of course, he's going to talk a lot about his acting. I mean, same thing. He's done a lot of acting throughout the thing. He's found his little niche, and he's worked with the beard and all the things, and he's found how to sell himself and keep busy. He's doing bit parts, but he's got some name credits, which is really cool and wonderful to hear about, because that can help fill your year, and it's just fun. It's just fun. I've only done a couple small ones here locally, and it's just fun to do. It's just unique. But Ron's been in we're talking some name actors. So don't miss that on the 8th of August. The 15th of August is Matt Spalding. Matt is again a fantastic Santa. He's a designer beard Santa, but he runs North Pole podcast, has talked to many, many, many different Santas throughout the years. So he'll talk about how he got his podcast going and everything else. But Matt's a good guy. He's got a heart of gold. He really does, and likes to do a lot of things. So don't miss Matt. Like I said, he'll even talk about how to work because most of us are real bearded, even though I have to bleach. Matt's a designer beard, and you can see he's got no hair anywhere. He's, even nothing up there, but he does it all. But don't miss Matt on the 15th. The 22nd, everybody's friend from day one, Scott Parker. Everybody's friend. Scott's going to be here. He's been on before, but you know, and he's been such a loyal follower of the show, and a contributor and everything else. You got to have Scott. He's done so many cool Santa things, so you can't miss Scott. Again, I love that buckle. I wish I would have gone ahead and spent some money on that buckle because it's something that's gone. But oh well. But don't miss August 22nd, Scott Parker. Then 29th, that'll be almost the end of August already. The 29th is Lauren Jensen back for round 2. Lauren has got such amazing more things he's going to talk about his Santa Shed. He's a local here boy of MAPS. And actually, Sean also is a MAPS member. She is a local here from Michigan, but Lauren will talk about his shed some more and some phenomenal in-depth, like Bob was talking about last week or so, in-depth speaking on his backstory. We were kind of talking about backstories earlier about how many elves and so on and so forth. But Lauren, man, it goes history, it goes everything. It's very, very, very intricate. So don't miss. Again, free. Don't miss. Free. Don't miss that. The 5th, Diane Vin, right? Vin. Did I say it right? Just nod, Bob. Vin.
V-N.
All right, Angela did it again. Vin.
Van.
Oh, Diane. Sorry, Diane. I hope I didn't mess it up. But Diane will be here then. Again, a professional Mrs. Claus. It's just so cool to have them on because, like I said earlier, Mrs. Claus gives a different perspective and a fresh eyes from Santa, and an idea that because we're guys, we don't think. Thank you, Diane. I'm sorry, Vian. I'm sorry, Diane. Will, like I said, Mrs. Claus, and she will give us a cool perspective of how Mrs. Claus, and she, because it's so cool, they think different than us guys do. So not just taking care of Mrs. Claus, they help us like crazy, the Mrs. Clauses. So don't miss that. Don't miss Diane on the 5th of September. Wow, what am I thinking? The 5th of September. That's September. Bob, really, that's September already. You know what that means? It's time to get everything ready to go. Then on September 12th, we have Elizabeth and Tracy. Is it Ruck? R-U-C-H? Is it Ruck? Just nod, Bob. Is it Ruck? R-U-C-H? Oh, I didn't mess that one up. R-U-C-H?
Well, I've heard it pronounced 2 different ways, and I meant to ask them last night when we were chatting. Tracy and Elizabeth helped us tear down all the audio equipment and lighting and everything. Along with Randy and Debbie from North Texas, they stayed on and helped. So we had some good help last night. But yeah, I've heard it as Rush or Ruck, so I'm not real sure. I'll have to ask them.
Okay, well, that will be the 12th, and we'll be talking about them between now and then anyway. But that is September 12th. Again, professional Santa and Mrs. Claus. It's always so cool when you can talk to the duo at the same time, because they bounce information back and forth. That really helps us. Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry. I think you froze.
Amazing, and so is his wife.
But it's always good to have a Santa, Mrs. Claus. I mean, we love Mrs. Claus, we love Santas, but sometimes you get them both together, especially when we work with a Santa and Mrs. Claus together. When we work together, it helps everything. It's free education, folks. It's free education. I mean, it's free laughter. It's free. Uh-oh, we lost Bob. Hopefully he's okay. We didn't see him do the funny steering roll, but it's free education for us, folks. It's free laughter. It's free fun. Don't miss it. That lineup is huge going out for the end of July, and of course through August and part of September. And of course, there's Halloween party coming up. Man, we have got so much going on.
Trucks, I can get over.
Don't miss Tuesday Night Live, everybody. And of course, Monday here with Bob Randyl and company. But so that's a good list of things. We're going to do the trivia answer, I think, is what we should do next. We got to give the answer. And the answer is, everybody, Angela will know who won, but the answer is,
drum roll,
the horse's name is Bob. Bart. Hey, Bart won. Congratulations, Bart. You will be getting a gift from Santa Clausnet, be sent out to you. such a nice thing to do. We just give a little trivia and you get a gift. It's what a cool thing. You know, you watch, you learn, you laugh, and you get a gift by getting a good answer. So congratulations. Congratulations, Bart. And Bob. Yep, Bobtail. Bob had a tail. Now I don't that the other Bob doesn't have one. I hope it spells 1-0 and not, never mind. We won't go there.
I'm glad he's not an elf because my elf, you spell their name backwards.
Oh, you can spell Bob backwards also?
No, unless you do Dodd.
Oh. Very cool. Well, it is time. Yes, it's time for that next part of the show. And Angela's going to put a little thing up right now. See you in a minute. Oh, sorry. I got carried away. I love that music. Good to see everybody. Oh, I look a little. Oh, excuse me. Thank you for letting me talk to you again about magical moments. Because this is something that I know I've shown before, but it is such an easy thing to purchase and to give away on your visits. And they will remember them and wear them forever. It's just a little sponge ball nose. And of course, it goes on there. Nothing is better. Of course, it looks like a clown nose, but nothing better than getting that one person up. And then, of course, getting everybody at your home visit. Or if it's at a corporate event, it doesn't really matter. Getting that corporate exec up there and put that nose on him. He's got his beautiful three-Peter Armani suit and he's wearing a nose and everybody's singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh my goodness. It will be remembered forever and you will get rebooked. And that's the thing that I like to talk about a lot is how to get rebooked. Rebook you, not to rebook just Santa. And there's ways we can even try to sell ourselves, not just as the performer, but on promotional material. I know that doesn't sound real magical and everything else, but it is necessity. And of course, this time of year, we better start thinking about, if we're not booked already, how to promote ourselves a little bit more. And I've done this, and something I do just on my computer. It's a single page. I do just a trifold, and I put pictures and a little blurb about myself, and of course, all the information. And they're very easy to print out. They're maybe 60 some cents to buy a color, to have them printed out in color, but I have all my information and pictures and everything else, and they're very easy to pass out. Now, most people have business cards, but you take this into a school, a daycare, something like that, and they seem to keep these longer than they do a business card. And because they'll look at it for a little bit and there's something to read, and it tells them a little bit more about what I've done and everything else. But take that time to make you look a little bit more magical. Of course, this is my logo, of course, to sell yourself. And we have to sell ourselves now to make sure that we're booked from that, I don't know if it's the 4th, the 5th, whatever it might be of November. Or if you're even selling to photographers, you want to take this into them, because then you can show them some other pictures that you've done with other photographers, what specialty things they have done, gives them ideas and everything else. But take that time, take your computer. Everybody's got you can get, the workshop, Photoshop, print shop, Canva is, you can make these things up very, very easily and print them out. This is nothing I spent a lot of money on. I spent a little time on it to make sure I got everything on there that I wanted and everything else. But do something for yourself. Make something special for you. But I've noticed throughout the years that a trifold works better than a business card, because business card you have to have, don't get me wrong, you have to have that to pass out. But this, they seem to look at, especially daycares and things like that. I also like to do postcards. I love postcards. Now, this actually sells everything that I do, my magic, my Santa, my clowning, my everything else. But these are just postcards that you can make up. I design them on my own computer, which, like I said, in Canva or whatever, you can design these yourself. You have plenty of photos of yourself, and then you just put whatever basic information on there, and you pass these out. Again, people remember them a little bit more than a business card. And that's what you want to do. They want to remember you, like I've been trying to say for weeks. You got to sell yourself as Santa. Sell yourself more than just selling Santa. We're selling Santa because that's who we are. But boy, you got to stand out, look a little different. That's why I do this, and I usually give out both. But I have a Santa card, and to be honest with you, I can't find them right now. Just all strictly Santa. But I've got them put away, and that's nothing. I got to get them out soon. But I know I have quite a few of the trifolds I had printed up, but I passed those out. So it's something to take a few minutes of your time. Same way with whenever you do a contract. I know we talked about contracts a week ago. Make sure you do a contract with your information, and I keep that same postcard on the top of my contract. So they kind of put the two together. Oh, that guy. And then also, especially if you're doing something else, like Ron, we talked about Ron McLam earlier. He does all kinds of different things with not just Santa. That's like I do. I try to do, or Jeff McMullen, whoever, a bunch of other Santas, Leanders, a bunch of other guys do other things. So you're then not just putting a contract confirmation out for Santa. You're now then showing them, oh, he can do magic. Oh, he can do music. You're selling yourself more than just as Santa. Company name and all the information on your contract, but that just keeps that in front of their face a little bit more. So, they don't need Santa in January or February or March, but they might need a magician. They might need a clown. They might need a musician. Yeah, guy that plays guitar or plays whatever you might do. But also put that on there too. So don't just add that little extra thought process and for them to watch. And when I when I go to some place and leave it, always make sure that you leave, if you're going to leave something like this, like a naughty or nice list, always make sure you leave your logo on there. So they get used to seeing that. I'd really be honest with you. I love Spangles. It's beautiful. It is gorgeous. This is what Spangles sells. I mean, it's a beautiful, good list certificate. I mean, I tell you, I freaked out when I saw them and the material that it's made out of. It's a fantastic one list that you can get on, stuffforsantas.com. It's a great list. But I just took it a step further for me, a certificate. And of course, then you put your logo and your information, of course, your name. So that also reminds them on a regular basis. It's no different than having that picture up on the mantle. It reminds them of you for the next time. And that's how we got to do. We can do all the magic. We can do all the singing. We can do all the storytelling. We can do all that kind of stuff we want to do. We can have a $5,000 suit. We can have the best smile in the world and the best laugh ever. But unless we're selling ourselves, there's a bunch of other Santas out there, which we know they're all learning and being fantastic Santas anyway. So which is wonderful to know another Santa's getting the gig. But we also want to fill our holiday seasons up too. At least I do. I love it because, man, it's nothing better than, making that child smile. And that just, it just warms your heart and gives you that energy to do more. So take that time, make a special flyer for yourself, business cards are wonderful. They have your picture on and all that, but take it a step further. Make it something a little bit more unique for yourself. And then, like I said, pass those out. Just take one day and go drive around and make a list of daycares. Just drop them off. And if you're looking casual Santa when you go in, you're halfway there. And they'll remember and look at this more than they will a business card. Sometimes people like to attach a candy cane to it, which is a wonderful thing to do. I don't know if I'm sure the candy canes are just wonderful this time of year. I don't think they're stale or anything, so I'm sure they're fine. So, but you got to stand out, and if that's something for you to do, wonderful idea. But that's what makes you stand out, to sell you as Santa and Mrs. Claus, and that's what you want to do, to book yourself and to bring them smiles during the holiday time. That just that's what we love to do, guys and gals. That's what we love to do, and without that, I don't know where I'd be without those smiles. I tell you, makes me through every part of ups and downs. I'm very, very thankful. So thank you guys for allowing me to do another magical moment with you guys all. I am so blessed and so thankful for each and every one of you to let me have this time every week. Again, next week, we don't have this week because Bob's got a special wedding going on next week, which is a wonderful thing. So again, send prayers to them too for blessings for many years of happiness for Bob's son and everybody. We want them to be very, very happy in years to come. So thank you guys for a magical moment. Thank you so much. So I guess I don't know if anybody's back on, but maybe Bob. Oh, there we go. There they are. Thank you again, guys. So good to see you guys.
Well, Randyl, what a great segment. What a great show, Randyl.
You guys are just, man, I just can't take that smile off when I see you guys. It just helps put a smile on my face. It warms my heart. I just know what's love in this community, what's care is, how much people work for everybody. If only the world knew how fantastic this community is. It is, man, it's all there all the time. You guys got any, let's see if we got any last minute things to look at over here. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit. We lost Bob. I was distracted. I mentioned Jeff's, okay, yep, Bart says, Jeff's, I didn't say the date, it's August 19th for Jeff McMullen's Kringle U class. That's coming up in like 3 weeks. There go Bob rolling again. I tell you, Bob, whew, man, what are you turning, Bob? You got some.
Box away.
We got anybody else here of Halloween? Okay, of course we're going to be talking about Halloween. That's crazy to be thinking about Halloween already so soon. I was at an event yesterday over the weekend. They're talking about a big Halloween thing coming up. Bob will start coming to Ohio in March. I don't know. You'll have to ask Bob and Scott if they're coming to Ohio in March. There, Ben. We'll see what's going on.
Right.
Let's hope you're not too angry, Carl. I see some of those little hieroglyphic those symbols. I hope you're not too upset with us. I hope you're not.
Well,
see if we got any other questions here
Bob
going
and I
on.
would say, Randyl, if we're invited, and it falls where T&L can come and do a live remote there, we'll try. No promises, but we'll try, right, Bob? And
very cool.
And the one thing that I want to pass along to all of your viewers, Randyl, is, life's very short, and we never know when it's our time. And we've lost so many Santas. Just reach out to a Santa or somebody that's close to you, and just tell them you love them. And just like I'm going to tell Bob and Randyl, I love you guys to the moon and back. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, I second that, you guys. I just can't thank you guys enough for all the care, the support, the people that watch. Just this community is just beyond, just phenomenal. Really is. So we want to thank each and every one of you. Does that mean you're home, Bob? Does that mean you're home?
We're home.
You're home. You got to be happy for that. So is there something you
Home
need to say
safe.
quick,
Thank you,
Bob?
Lord.
Say something real quick, Bob, so you can start unpacking and relax. Let everybody know, and then start to relax. We'll call it the end of the show. Bob, go ahead.
All right. Okay, Randy. The only thing we got to do is how about your Randall challenge? How's that coming?
We've got we're closing it out as of today, July 24th. I've got a couple of them there, so we're going to make the decision, and we'll get you guys on August. I believe it's August 7th, because we're not going to be here. So yeah, it's two Mondays from now. So we will be in touch with everybody and get you guys on for to show what your little challenge is going to be. Remember to take that funny little thing. It doesn't matter what it is. If you've come up with a unique way to talk about a key or a whistle or like I said, a funny large cookie. Come up with an idea and do a 30-second or a minute little blurb about it. Take your imagination and make something special. I have a few, so we're gonna make a decision, and you guys will be on August 7th on the Bob Randyl and Company show to show us what you put together.
All right, Randy, great show, brother. Thank you so much, Scott. Thanks for dropping in with us today. I'm going to leave it to Randy to close the show out, and I'm going to start unpacking now, me and the wife.
Well,
Bob,
I'm in
thank you very
Tulsa,
much.
so I'm just about an hour and a half from the house. So I'm gonna hop off here too. Randall, thanks so much for doing all you do for the Claus community. And remember, keep your Claus heart wide open.
Ditto,
Let your
everybody. Thank
claws
you,
heart
Bob. Thank
shine.
you, Scott. You guys stay safe. Scott, be careful going home. Bob, get some rest, both of you guys. We'll see you soon tomorrow night on Tuesday Night Live. Again, thank you guys so much. I want to thank each and every one for showing up today on Bob Randall and Company. Can't believe it's already the 25th show for this year. Just crazy. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into your life and you guys joining us. So from Bob, Randall, Scott, everybody here, Angela, everybody that's involved with Mondays. Thank you so much, everybody. We love you all. Stay safe. And most of all, stay magical, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you Monday in 2 weeks. Don't forget tomorrow night. Bye.